Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the...
Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase we're going to be looking at the 2012 Fall of Cybertron Starscream. What we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. I'll show you the accessories that come with him, and he's got something like, I suppose you can call it an Easter egg or an undocumented feature, which is brilliant to be honest, and you can use it in both modes, so I'll show you that and hopefully you haven't seen it. And as I'm lucky enough to have one still in the packaging, we can have a look at that as well. Before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody, if they're not subscribed to the channel, to please hit that subscribe button for me now. Unbelievably, 60% of my views are for people who aren't subscribed, so thank you to everybody for watching. Okay, let's have a look at him. Now, this guy I absolutely love. It was about this sort of time, as I say, that I started buying pretty much the Generations line. I was well into my collecting of Generation 1, but mainly the Generations, and particularly the Fall of Cybertron brand. Now, if I want to be picky, obviously you can see straight away he's got a huge gap missing there, where he's got literally nothing inside, but his arms will pretty much cover it. But I love it. I think it looks brilliant. If it's looking slightly different to the ones that you've seen, that's because this is the Takara version, and the Takara versions had metallic paints. And that's the reason why I got them, because they just looked that little bit better. So in robot mode, he's got pretty much a ball and socket joint there in the shoulder. You can see we can turn and twist his head. It'll go up and down. Will it? Yeah, but that's probably mainly due to transformation, obviously. He's got wrist, yep, elbow or bicep, whichever call it joints you want to. It's actually double jointed, you can see there, so very poseable. The hips, again, full rotation, knee bend, and of course the toes will tilt in, but the ankle tilt isn't really there. But again, I love him. I just think he looks so good. The accessories that come with him are these two guns, and the brilliant thing about these two guns are their proper names are neutron assault rifles, and it basically is replicating the game, because obviously this is based on a game, and in the game it looks like one of the weapons on there as well. And what you can do with these, you can literally connect them together, as you can see, and then you've got a double barreled gun. Fantastic. I'm going to show you more about that in a second, but what I'm going to do for the rest of the video, we're going to have a look at him in his alternate mode. We're then going to bring him back in his robot mode for some comparisons, and we'll round it up there. So let's have a look at him in his alt mode. Okay, here we are, and we're in his alternate mode. And again, quick apologies for not doing the transformation process on screen. Main reason for that is to keep the length of the video down, and of course not to spoil it for yourselves. So let's have a look at his alternate mode, which is of course the Cybertronian jet mode. And again, I do really like it. I like the fact that it looks a lot like the game. If you want to be really picky, and I suppose you can, it's the fact that that is his head. And yeah, it really is. Look, you can turn it around, fold it out, and if you wanted to, you could pop it there. I don't know why you would, but it is his head. So I suppose, you know, people call it visible head syndrome, etc. But it just, I think it looks really good. Whether or not it's because this version is the Takara version, it just looks so much better. You've got the lovely translucent plastic there, got the big boosters and stuff at the back. The transformation process is, to be honest, quite simple. And again, I suppose you've got a few gap issues, but you know, we're talking about a figure now, as I say, that's coming up to 10 years old already. Now we'll have a quick look at the weapons again, and again, as I say, we can combine them, and the cool thing about combining them is the fact that you can spin them together just by spinning one. The cogs join up. Now what I want to show you, and again, this hasn't been documented in the instructions, and it's brilliant actually, and whether it's supposed to be done, I don't really know. And I suppose it's because nobody in their right mind would want to get this whole tail fin here, and believe you me, it is really stuck in, proper stuck in. So you can literally, I thought I was going to break this when I first had a go at it, but no, you can see it will come out. There is your 5mm dowel, and there is an abundance 3 more holes. So what you can actually do now, again, you can connect this up, and it must have been there. I don't know why it wasn't shown. Look, there's your two holes, and then there's your 2 holes there, and you can literally now attach this. This is quite stiff because I don't do it very often, but it does just fit like that. Now, how cool does that look? That looks amazing. It looks really, really good. You've got both of the barrels spinning round on the top. I mean, if you really wanted to, you can then put that on the top as well. If you wanted to, it still doesn't look too bad, to be fair. If we turn it around, I still don't think that looks too bad. So that's, as I say, a bit of an Easter egg. I know that's what they call Easter eggs maybe on DVDs, but I don't know what they call them with figures, but it's definitely an added bonus mode to this already, what I think is a fantastic figure. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to show you, as I say, the standard ways that you could obviously attach these. You can split these up, and then of course for the G1 people, to be honest, like myself as well, I do love my G1. Obviously you can attach this there. It doesn't look too good there. That's going on at the side of the leg on the long pole, like so. So many ways you can attach these, and I suppose that's what makes it really good, the fact that you've got all these holes there. This is the one that looks slightly better because for obvious reasons you can't see the back emptiness of the weapon, which is there. You probably could, if you switched it over as well, to be fair, to fit as normal. And then of course, here we go, attaching this underneath. Oh, I've just knocked the top off now. Of course I have. There you go. Let's just put this tail fin back on. I'm not going to put it in too tight because I'm going to take it off again for the robot mode. But there we go. Cybertronian jet, looking pretty much like the game. Yeah, a bit of visible head syndrome, but just liking it. Just liking it. I'll let you know what you guys think anyway. What we're going to do now, we're going to come back for the final time, round it up, have a look how you can attach and use the weapons in his robot mode, and of course do some of the obligatory comparisons of him through the years and with other figures in the toy line. Coming right back to you. Right then, so we're back for the final time, just to round this up and have a look at how we can attach the weapons and stuff when he's in this mode. The other thing I want to just quickly recap on as well is that there definitely is an actual ankle tilt. It's just that this is so stiff, because obviously when I buy these, I don't play with them, unfortunately. I do buy them just mainly to display. But the other cool thing is as well, is I looked at the head sculpt, but there's actually some light pipe in there as well. So if I can get this mini torch to work, there you go. You can see that his eyes are lighting up lovely there, and to be honest, that really accentuates and makes him look even better. And let's be honest, look at the artwork that's on his card. Look at the eyes there. It's you know, it's exactly mimicking that. It's brilliant. So let's have a look at, of course, the weapons, but what I want to show you first is this bit again. So if you wanted to, and this is a very common thing now, of course, with newer figures, that they do this, that you can store the weapons, etc., on the backs of them. So you can actually do this as well. Again, even though it was undocumented, you can store the weapons on his back like so. Again, you can attach this. I wonder if you could even use that as a weapon if you wanted to. Pop that in his hand, or again, store it at the back. But that was, again, not really documented, and I'm sure it was, maybe it was planned to be, with the fact, it must have been planned to be, because the fact that the two holes fit perfectly in alignment. Anyway, let's quickly connect this back together. So of course, because you've got all these 5mm ports, you've got them in his forearms, you've got them in the back of the wings, you've got them in his legs, you've got them everywhere. And again, it's entirely up to you. Again, the weapons can be split, but for now, before we split them up, you've got these long pegs here. You can take your arms forward, turn the wrists in, and then this is a cool mode as well, if you wanted to. There you go, we can clip that there, and then of course we can attach this one as well. He says very carefully. Excuse me, these toys are so new. And then we can just rest that. I'm just going to rest it, but you get the idea. There you go. So we can hold both arms in the air, blasting away with that, with the long dowels. And then of course you've got the more traditional way. You can either put them in his hands, which what I'm going to do, funny enough, is use as a demonstration to segue into this, because I've talked about other figures, as I say, in the toy line, and of Hasbro, of course, love using the same Seeker molds, same as Takara. And if he's looking familiar, of course, the mold was then used for Thundercracker for the Thrilling 30, and of course for Skywarp as well. So you've got the exact same mold used there. Right, let's attach these. So two ways, and you can, as I say, you can either pop them in his hands, like so, like you just saw with Thundercracker. Either the long dowel, you've got two ways of doing it, or the short dowel. But let's be honest, if it's going to be Starscream, it's got to be in his forearms, hasn't it? So we'll attach this. I'm going to turn them around just so you can't see everything in the underside of it, like this. And what I meant by that was, if I was to put this one on and attached it there, you'd just see the all open side of the gun, which you don't really want to see. So if we attach it this way round, yeah, there we go. You can see that it's still, yeah, it displays much better that way in the forearms, shooting forward. Right, so let's do a couple more quick comparisons and then we will round this off. So of course we have to have G1 Starscream there, and he's about as big. And then this is also a G1 Starscream, but it's due to the color scheme on here. I just wanted to show you how similar he looks to the Mexican variant of G1 Starscream. So the Mexican variant's got the silver plastic in it as well. There you go. Again, you can probably tell that I really do like this figure. And I think mainly, as I've already said and stated, it's because it really got me buying the Generations lines worth of figures, this range of toys, instead of just the Generation 1 stuff. There we go, guys. Anyway, I can't believe he's nearly 10 years old. I hope you enjoyed looking at him. I hope it brought back some nice memories for you if you had him when you were younger, or had it 10 years ago. And, you know, fingers crossed, maybe you didn't know about that additional thing with the weapons. Let me know if you... Thanks for watching. Like and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.